my story is actually titled The Famous Five. And this is set somewhere around when I was 6 years old, 6 to 8 years old. So so I grew up in Hyderabad, and in the colony there were about 5 friends of ours who were really close. So we were the famous 5, as we called it, and we were always together. We used to always play together, blah, blah, blah. And things like, so the deal was that we'd all come together and then bring all our toys in, and we'd all come there in one house, and then whose house was empty, and we would play over there. So, and everybody had their own set of toys. So I had my Legos, somebody had their Hot Wheels, and so on and so forth. And in that set of 5 friends, I don't want to name them at this point of time, but there was this one guy. He was the luckiest one of the lot. I mean, he had enough and more family that stayed abroad. His parents traveled a lot, so he used to always have the best toys there. So while somebody had a Hot Wheels, he would have a Matchbox car. So when you spoke of Lego, he had Lego. So that was his deal. And we would all come down together and play in whatever house that was empty. And this was a general thing that would happen. We would call ourselves the Famous 5 or the 5 Findouters, depending on which book we liked at that point. And this is a story that was set in one such day where we were all playing, and our boy, this guy, comes in with this toy, which was probably the coolest thing I'd ever seen at that point of time. It was this car which you could just wind and leave, and the car would go about 100 meters in and flip, and then come back, and then flip, and go back. And that was really cool. And all of us looked at it and said, wow, like this is so cool. And we, immediately his respect level in the crowd automatically shot up that much. So we had this fun evening, we're all playing, all done. We are all wrapping up. So every day around 4, so if we played for about 2 hours, we had to wrap up and put our Legos back, our toys back, put our stuff back. I came back home, they all went back home. And then around 8:30, there's a phone call that comes to my house. And the call happens to be from our man's mom, saying that, so my son came down to play yesterday, and all these guys are playing, and he lost a toy. And there were just 5 of them in the room, and we are not too sure, but it could be your son. So I want you to speak to him. And my mom comes and pulls me up and says, hey, did you pick up somebody's toy? And I was like, no. She said, did you by mistake pick up somebody's toy? And I said, no. And she said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And she said, check in your box. So I opened up my box and there was nothing in there. And I was like, why are you asking these questions? Because she's like, I don't know. I got a call from this boy's mom that he lost his toy and it could be you. And I was shocked. I was like, wait. And this is when you're 8 years old. There's no such thing as bro code that has been invented at that point. So I'm like, how did this guy mess this up? Like, how did he blame me for it? So then later when mom's not looking, I slowly pick up the phone and call up another friend's landline. So only landlines, right? His mom answers. And I say, Auntie, can I speak to him? She said, no, you can't speak to him. He's been grounded. So I'm like, okay. So we obviously did not meet for the next 2 days because we've all been put under this kind of this thing. Finally, when we all meet, we all realize that, listen, all 4 of us got a call from his mom saying that we lost a toy. And we were all questioning ourselves, saying, how could this boy just turn around and say that he lost a toy and could be one of us? And none of us had taken it. And we were very sure we didn't take it. And a week later, somewhere down the line, he did find his toy. And it was with him itself. But then what happened was, the famous 5 became the Fantastic 4. He lost a toy, we lost a friend. So, yeah, that's probably where it was.